If you're like me and you have a Mazda Miata NC and you want to add auxiliary to it because it's an NC1, you're in luck. It's really easy. It only costs $20 with stuff from Amazon, and the tools are pretty simple. So I'll show you how to do it right now. You are going to need a extension and a ratchet with a 10mm socket on it. That's going to be to get out the security bolt, which is the hardest part of this whole piece. You're going to need a screwdriver with a Phillips head, and that's all you're going to need in terms of tools. Then in terms of the parts, you're going to need an aux adapter to plug into the back of the Mazda car radio, and that's going to give you a 6-foot long 3.5mm male end. And then I also bought a 3.5mm stereo jack that is female to female so that I could plug in this Bluetooth adapter here. The Bluetooth adapter I can have plugged into USB, so it's always charged, but if I want to unplug it and use that USB port for something else, it lasts for about 10 hours anyway. And all in all, this is only $20 worth of parts, and then the tools hopefully you have anyways. So to get started, we are going to undo the steering panel. So that is the knee panel right below the steering wheel. You just pull that down, comes off very easily, and then you remove the 4 Phillips screws in the metal plate there. You remove that plate in order to get access to the security bolt, which is beside the gas pedal. So if it's on the gas pedal side and then it goes up, this is basically a bolt. It's a 10mm bolt that holds the radio in so that you can't pull it out even if you were to remove the Phillips screws that hold the radio. So this is just an extra security measure, but you will need an extension, and you can see it here with this iPhone footage. It is behind the 2 bolts that you see on the metal bar. It's just 1 bolt. You want to loosen that out, and I found it actually easier to do this with the extension without the ratchet. So you don't need much torque. You don't actually need the ratchet. Once you have that done, you are going to undo the side panels of the radio, and you can actually just pull them back with your fingers, and then in the back near where your knees would be driving or in the passenger seat, you can pull on it, and you can see there are some clips that pops out on each side, and then you have 2 Phillips screws on either side of the radio, which let the radio slide out. Now, once you have the radio out, you'll probably find that your cables, if you've never removed the radio before, are very tight like mine were, and I couldn't pull the radio out much. In this case, what I did, instead of pulling on the cables to get them looser, I just plugged in the aux cable, the back end, to the back of the radio without looking. There's only one place that it can go. I'll put a screenshot of where it needs to be installed here, and there's only one way that it goes in. So once you have it in, you're all set. What you want to do at this point is turn the car onto accessory mode so that you can test the aux port. So hit the media button on your radio, turn on your Bluetooth receiver and connect your phone to it, and make sure that the sound is coming through all of the speakers. I used the balance and fade feature to check that every single speaker was working. Once I was happy with that, I ran the 6 feet of cable with that new aux cable through the back of the car, so where the radio is, the back end, to the glove box. You can just reach around your hand in there. It's a little tight, but you'll be able to pull it. And then I pulled that aux cable into the glove box, and that's where I'll be keeping my Bluetooth receiver. Once that is done, which takes honestly only about 15 minutes, you follow the reverse steps. So slide the radio back in, put in those 2 Phillips screws, and then put the plastic panels back on. Grab the metal tray that goes near your knees in the steering footwell, and then you will put those 4 Phillips screws back in. And once that is done, you attach the black trim piece and you're all set. So all in all, it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to do this. The hardest part is definitely the 10mm bolt, but once you have that out, it's pretty easy. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Take care.